Welcome to the Barbells and Bourbon podcast, where the conversations are raw, real, and relatable. I am your big, bald, bearded, barbell lifting, bourbon drinking son of a bitch, Sean. And joining me today is... All right, you could come in now. The guest is me. I'm sorry if you're disappointed. This is the first episode in 41 weeks straight where I have not had a guest sitting in, we'll call it the hot seat. And there's a reason for that, which I'm going to get into during this episode. I do admire everyone that sits in this seat for the strength they have to open up about things that they've dealt with in the past, things they've overcome, secrets they might not really have talked about, tough times in their lives that maybe is really hard to share with others, let alone the world. So I felt this was a good time for me to open up about some things in my life that I've been dealing with, specifically over the last 2 months. I'm going to do my best to keep things chronologically and not get all over the place. I do want this to be a shorter episode, but I do want you guys to get kind of a glimpse into what goes on in my life. You see this man sitting in the other seat every single week. And yeah, sometimes I'm more happy than other times. Sometimes my mood's a little bit different. I kind of feed off my guests sometimes. But I got some shit going on. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. So the week of Labor Day, the weather was beautiful here in Pittsburgh. I think it was in the low to mid 80s, and our pool was starting to not be perfect, and I wanted to keep it open for a little bit longer and try to get use of it for the next week or two. So went out to clean the pool, took too big of a step off of my deck onto a 1-inch thick concrete pad, just so perfectly that my foot twisted completely sideways. I stopped myself from falling, which was probably a bad thing. And I broke my right fifth metatarsal, which, if you're not a medical professional, is the bone on the outside of your foot. I knew instantly it was bad. In fact, I walked into the house. I think Maria was on the phone at the time. And I think I mouthed to her, I think I broke my foot. Now, stubborn man, I went back out to clean the pool. Got a job to do. I came in the house, took my sock off, and something was wrong. Things sticking out where they shouldn't be sticking out, bumps, swollen. It was ugly. Feet aren't pretty anyways, mine especially, but it was not right. Maria took me to an urgent care the next day, and they confirmed that it was a fractured or broken bone by an x-ray. And they put me into a soft cast. Then I went to see an orthopedic surgeon in the area. They put me in a boot, and that was about it. So that bone breaking was on September 1st. Everything was going well with the recovery. I was in my boot, on crutches, using a walker around the house. Yeah, it sucked. Okay. It's funny that the things that you take for granted, like walking, it was like I was jealous of those who can walk normally or stand normally or sleep normally because of this. It's just the perspective around it. It was very eye-opening. And the perspective of things continue. You'll see. Okay, broke the foot, September 1st. Everything's going good. I get a meeting request from one of my managers at work for an 11 a.m. Tuesday morning call. It was a sales update call. So I joined the meeting. It was a video call. And sitting next to my manager is a female from HR. I got laid off on that Tuesday at 11 a.m. completely unexpectedly. My boss was as monotone and serious as he could be, probably following a script, which I understand. Basically saying your position has been eliminated. Your last day will be this Friday, the 13th. This is so-and-so from HR. She's going to discuss the separation documents and paperwork and all of this stuff. And I'm just staring out the window, not knowing what to do. Sorry. I support my family, and I take pride in that. And having that stripped away does something, you know? So anyways, they gave me the spiel, asked if I had any questions. I honestly didn't hear one thing that they said to me. Ended that call, sent a text to Maria saying I just lost my job. I guess she was in the middle of doing something when she read her watch when she got that text, and she literally dropped whatever she had in her hand. Yeah, something. I've been a professional engineer for 23 years. I've never had to go through that. I think it's probably a little bit different when it's unexpected. I mean, I'm talking completely unexpected. This wasn't because of budgets. This wasn't because of a reduction in force. This was something more than that, which I can't get into. And I have feelings about it, but, you know, I'm going to be a professional here and not discuss those things. So that happened that week. So broken foot, laid off. We're 2 weeks into September. About 3 days after I broke my foot, I noticed some tingling and numbness in my left index and middle fingers. I just didn't really think much of it. A few days passed and I started getting some weird pains, like in my left shoulder blade. Thought maybe I slept wrong. It wasn't anything that I probably hadn't felt before. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse to the point where I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay flat on my back, flat on my stomach. The pain was radiating down my arm. I was getting these electrical pulsing sensations in my forearm. It wasn't normal. So I admitted myself to the ER locally here, and they did a CT scan just to make sure that the blood vessels going to my brain were healthy, in case there was like maybe a stroke involved or something. And that was fine. They gave me some pain meds to go and basically said, you know, we hope these work. Good luck. They did nothing. Ended up going to my orthopedic surgeon for my foot. And I was there for my foot on the 25th of September. And by that time, my foot was feeling great. I could have run a 5K at that point. So I went for my foot, and I think I literally said, when I was there, I said, fuck my foot. It's fine. Can we check out what's going on with this problem here? Chiropractors weren't helping. Nothing was helping. Pain meds, muscle relaxers, nothing did any good at all. So they opened a new case to see what's going on with my neck. And it turns out that I had a disc herniation between my C6 and C7 vertebrae. And it was likely pinching a nerve. I don't know if it happened when I broke my foot. You know, when I fell, I did the matrix stuff to try to keep myself from falling. I don't know if the twisting and the sudden jarring and just the trauma of that caused maybe an underlying issue that I had over the years. Needless to say, the neck was now the priority of trying to get that resolved. So I ended up having to cancel a lot of my in-person personal trainer sessions because I couldn't stand. Literally, I could not stand up tall for more than probably 30 seconds without having to like hunch over or put my arm up on something. You know, it was very uncomfortable. And if anybody out there has had a herniation, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. And nothing helps. Nothing. I was on the steroid cycle packs things, ibuprofen, 1,000 milligrams. Nothing did any good. So dealing with that, still unemployed. We're into the 1st of October now, so a month has passed since I broke my foot. I wake up on Saturday, October 1st, and my right calf was a little bit swollen, and I had some pain like behind my knee. Thought I slept wrong. Maybe I had a cramp in the night. I couldn't like get it loose. I just slept with the cramp. I had no idea. Went about my day. Sunday, I woke up. It was about, at least twice as bad. In fact, I was on the couch downstairs and Marie was like, your calf looks like it's going to explode. Like it's shiny, like your skin is stretched. She felt it. It was hot. Something was not right. So Monday, I went to my PCP. As soon as I sat down and the nurse practitioner came in and saw my calf, she was like, we need to get you a Doppler ultrasound stat. And that looks for blood flow in your arteries and your veins. They called around to the local imaging centers. No one had any appointments until the following day. And look, I don't know anything about blood clots other than I know they're scary because blood clots can break loose and go to parts of your body that you don't want them to go, like the brain, the lungs, and other places. I told them, I said, look, I don't want to wait. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight if I have to sleep with this problem. So it just so happens my ex-wife does ultrasounds at a local hospital. I texted her. I said, are you working? In fact, my girlfriend was like, why don't you text Amber and see if she's working? So luckily enough, she was working. She said, if you come right now, I can get you in. So my doctor's office sent the script to the hospital. I showed up. She gave me the scan, and it turns out I had a blood clot in my right leg. I had almost complete blockage in one of the veins from my mid-thigh down to multiple veins in my calf. So they did a CT scan of my chest just to make sure that nothing had gone anywhere it shouldn't have gone. And sure enough, I had 2 pulmonary embolisms. So 2 pieces of the clot had broken off and got into my lungs, which can be fatal. I was very lucky. I didn't have any symptoms. They kept asking me, you have chest pains? Are you short of breath? And I didn't really notice anything. So I really got lucky with that. She basically said, you need to admit yourself to the ER. So I did that. They watched me and they put me on blood thinners. So I'm now on Eliquis at 45 years old. I don't know how long I'll be on that for, but that's to break down the blood clot and also thin the blood, which, breaking down the clot can take months. Now, having a blood clot is extremely painful. The only comfortable position is when your foot is elevated, which mine is right now. I don't know if you can see, but I have my foot up on my knee and I'm kind of fidgety. So just bear with me. As soon as I stand up, if I count to about 8, it feels like my right calf is going to explode. Extremely painful, hurts to walk, but actually walking is more comfortable than standing still. If I brush my teeth, I'm swaying back and forth. I have to keep circulation going all the time. It's been very hard to sleep. There's nothing you can really do for the pain. So, anyways, I started blood thinners that Monday, October 3rd. Nothing had improved up until today, in fact. So dealing with that, I get a cervical MRI for my neck on Thursday, the 10th. So a week after I went to the ER for my blood clot just to make sure what was going on with my neck. And if any surgery was involved in the future, they needed that MRI for the images. So I had to lay on my back in a small tube for 20 minutes straight without moving, which was the most uncomfortable position that I have with this problem. That was one of the hardest, as silly as this sounds, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure. I was trembling as controllable as possible because it hurt so bad. But I knew if I didn't get this done, I will never get better. So we got it done. We got her done. So conclusive results were C6, C7 herniation. It is pinching a nerve. The nerve canal is definitely narrow in that area, which is causing all of these underlying symptoms. So we have answers for that. What are we going to do about it? Well, yesterday, in fact, Monday, October 14th, I had a neurosurgery appointment to figure out what to do with this neck problem. They essentially gave me a stronger pack of steroids. It's like a 1 week long thing to go on to see if the nerve inflammation kind of subsides a little bit. Some more muscle relaxers, some better pain medication. They prescribed me some physical therapy and recommended some chiropractic visits. And basically said if things don't improve in the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to have surgery. And the best way to do the surgery is through your throat. I guess there's less risk and quicker recovery when you go in through the front rather than the back. I can't see how that's true, but we'll leave that to the professionals. I hope I don't have to do that. If it's going to make me feel better, sign me up. Back to the blood clot. Today, I went to a vascular specialist and told him, look, like this pain, I cannot live like this. Is there anything else we can do? I did the compression sock, again, blood thinners, whatever. He basically said, being I'm young, the best thing to probably do is just to remove the clot through surgery. So in fact, this Friday, I am getting emergency surgery to remove the blood clot in my leg. I've been told the procedure is fairly uninvasive. They essentially suck the blood clot out. They get this little mesh thing and they kind of catch it. They also insert another mesh type filter thing up in my upper chest to make sure that none of the pieces of the clot break off and go to my lung, which has happened before. It's supposed to catch the big stuff, which can cause the problems. Any small things aren't as dangerous, I guess. So that's scheduled for Friday. I'm expecting instant relief for that. I hope. I don't know what the recovery time is, but yeah. So that's been the last 2 months of my life. I broke a foot, lost my job, herniated a disc in my neck, got a blood clot in my foot and my lungs. And here we are. I'm definitely not myself right now. Mentally, it's tough. I haven't been in the gym in over 2 weeks. It's messing with me. I've lost a little bit of weight, which messes with me because I've grown up the skinny kid and I will never, ever not be that skinny kid inside. So anytime I lose any kind of weight, it kind of stresses me out a little bit. I can barely make myself food, so I've had to rely on Maria a lot. And I thank her for that. Look, guys, this isn't like for Shaun. We're all going through something. But, you know, when it rains, it pours. And it's pouring right now. But it's going to get better. I know it will. Just got to be patient. Trust the process. I think as a man, you know, being weakened is tough. You know, we're the providers, we're the rock, we're the stability in the house. I mean, I can't make my eggs in the morning without dancing around the house trying to keep circulation in my leg. I can't go to the bathroom without wobbling back and forth. It sucks. I finally got a good night's sleep last night. I can't lay on my back. I can't lay on my side. Can't lay on my stomach. It's, you know, I'm propped up at a 45-degree angle and I got my feet elevated in bed. I'm sweating like crazy. I mean, I'm a hot mess right now. I do appreciate everyone reaching out that knows about, you know, what's been going on. Love you all. This feels good to talk about. I understand now why my guests feel like they've gotten some relief after sitting here and kind of opening up. I know this wasn't the episode you expected, but don't judge people, guys. You don't know what's going on in their lives. I sat in that other chair for the last 2 months with a smile on my face. And yeah, I'd opened up about some of the things on the previous episodes that I've been going through, but, you know, the show must go on, right? But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up now. No fancy editing here, guys. No fancy intro. This is just me kind of giving you an update on my life. I hope to get back to a normal schedule soon. I hope surgery recovery is quick. I did have to reschedule my next guest too, but you know, hopefully we can get back onto a normal schedule and get some amazing guests back on the show that can share their stories. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it was different, but stay tuned for the next episode of Barbells and Bourbon. Peace.